Hello everyone, welcome back to plot number 13. Definitely feels like spring today. It's definitely feeling a lot warmer today. I've got a few little jobs I want to do. The plot is looking bare at the moment, so there's not loads going on. I need to take out some of the old swede and some of the flowers that have just, that's it now. I want to take up some of these nets as well and have a little look underneath. We're not due any frost for the next week or so, so I might just leave the nets off the lettuce and let them have a good bit of sunshine. But the main job today is I'm going to plant out my onion sets. So the onion sets have been growing at home just in a little cell. I find that if I plant sets straight into the ground, they kind of push themselves out, the birds get hold of them, so they're always a lot better to start off in the modules. I'm going to pop them in the bed next to the garlic, and I'm going to net them this year because last year, obviously, I think a lot of people actually had onion fly, so I'm definitely going to net them this year. I don't think it's an emergency. I'm sure that I read it's around May time, April, May time. So I've got a month or so to sort out some kind of netting for the onions. But yeah, let's get going. It's brilliant. Wow, I love it. Another reason to get going as well. Look at that sky over there. That looks very angry compared to that. Look at that. Beautiful. Summer, winter. I'm going to try something a little bit different this year. Instead of doing rows with the onions, I'm going to do like a block, like a square. I've got a little patch at the end of the garlic, which I'll show you in a sec. And then what I'll do is get some kind of square structure to act as the netting and see if that helps keep the onion fly off. I might have to buy some netting actually. We'll see. Let's have a look. Let's do that. I'm going to do it. Here's the onions. Look, you can definitely see they're ready to go out. There's loads of lovely roots on these, even though the red ones, they haven't really got a lot of shoots on, but they are doing a lot underneath. So if you've got red ones, I think they're always a bit slower to take off, aren't they? The white ones are second slowest, and then these normal ones, the yellow ones, are pretty rapid. But if you're worried about yours being squidgy this time of year, don't worry about it. They are not rotting. They go soft and then start to bulb up, which I found out last year. I thought they were all rotten and I was going to take them out, but I thought, well, leave them in. And they were fine, and they, apart from the onion fly. So yeah, if they're squidgy, don't worry about it, leave them in. I'm not being perfect with these. I don't mind. I'm not going for huge onions. I'm just going for onions this year. Any onions will be great. Oh God, gee, I think I've hit a mole hole there. I think the spacing probably could be a little bit too close. I could be more generous with it, but I just want to get some onions this year that don't get fly, and I'm going to be struggling to get a net over the area, so they'll just have to be small. That's fine. I give them plenty of feed when they get going. So I've got 37 more onions to go, and these ones are going to go in a single row, and they're going to be spaced properly. They're going to be spaced the maximum you can do, well, maximum recommended for onions, which is 6 inches apart. That's 33, 34, 35, 36. Oh my God. 37. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely perfect. Yeehaw. Can't believe that. That is literally 37 on the nose, on the money. Couldn't do it again if I tried. These ones are growing in slightly bigger cells. They don't need planting out yet because there's loads of room in there. But I thought, as I'm doing the other ones, I'm just going to put these in as well. and get them going. Should have made the holes a little bit bigger. Yeah, so the 60 cells definitely better for onions. They'll be okay. There we go. That's the single row done with the recommended spacing, and then my little square area done, cramped up. So let's see what happens with those, shall we? And I'm going to net both areas as well. I should net the garlic as well, to be fair, but I don't think I've got enough netting, so we'll have to see. Oh, just as I was in my shed then, yellow sulphur, put that on your onions as well. It helps keep the mould off and makes them really oniony. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that on now before I forget. I thought I'd quickly chuck some netting on the onions. I'm not sure if I'll get down here next week, so I have just patchworked some netting that I've got, and it'll have to do. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's going to be better than than last year anyway, isn't it? So yeah, we'll see. Right, I'm going to harvest these last few swede now. Although they are wonky donkey, they'll still be okay to eat. I normally just snip them off at the base, give them a little trim, and then chop the tops off like that. So they're all right once you've peeled it and everything. That one's probably no good, to be fair. And they've had a tiny bit of slug damage, but nothing major, so I'm really happy with these this year. These are all the small ones that were left over. I leave all the roots in the ground for the worms to eat. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 5 little swede. Lovely. Just going to give this a little hoe over. I rake over even, just to knock some of the weeds back. I'm going to do beans and peas in this bed this year. I've got a few broad beans at home, which I'm going to keep at home in the greenhouse, but I've got a few little spares that I'm going to throw in today as well. Oh, what the hell's that? Bloody carrot. There's a carrot in there. Huh. Random. Just found a random carrot. I didn't sow carrots there. So these are my broad beans that I've got. They're just spare ones. I sowed half a tray of these, so I sowed 20 of these. There's only me that eats them, so if they die, I'm not going to be too sad. And I've got another kind of 15 or so at home, so we'll see if they do any good. They've been outdoors for ages, and they've not died, so I'll put them in. I'm just going to bob them in this little section here. I'm not even worried about the spacing of these, to be fair. I'm just going to sling them in. That'll do. I've just spotted some rhubarb poking through. Let me show you. So I moved this rhubarb when I got the plot a couple of years ago, from over in the bed over here to kind of like this wild area, fruit area, and it didn't really do much last year. I think because of transplanting it, it's just shocked it. So I'll just show you what's poking through now. There you go. Yay! Got rhubarb. And there's another one coming through there as well. So it didn't amount to much at all last year. So I'm really pleased that it's fighting winter off and coming through. I have to remember not to step on it. Let's have a quick check under here, see if we can capture a couple of slugs. Sluggies. Pak Choi survived the winter anyway. I'll just have a little tidy up, pull off all the chewed up leaves, and maybe give him a little feed or something as well. Oh, I didn't bring any down. Oh, bugger. Okay, we'll tidy up. Right, it's time to take off this fleece, I believe now, at least for another week, because we're not due any frost now. Overnight is about 6-7 degrees, so it's all good, baby. Get the light in, let the birds at it. Could maybe swap it for a black netting or something like that. Might harvest some lettuce today, actually. It's looking rather good. Rather good. I know I say it every time, but it just amazes me that you can grow lettuce in the winter. Look at that. Beautiful. A tiny bit of fleece protecting it. Loads of lovely leaves to harvest now. I spy with my little eye something beginning with S. I can see your butt, mate. Eat that instead. Right, I'm just going to have a little tidy up of these. So just take off the chewed up bottom leaves. Make sure I pull any weeds out the ground as I'm going. So this row of cabbages here, I know you're saying there is no cabbages there, Jen, but there is. Look closer. There. This row of cabbages here was my experimental one. So I put these in the end of last year without net on, just to see if they would survive the winter. And here's my answer. I'm going to leave them in though. We'll see if they come back. Well, let's get a bit of this lettuce picked. I won't go crazy. I'll just take a few leaves from the outside and then have a little tidy up as I go. Rather than pull out the whole plant, I can get a bit more off it then if I just take a few of the outer leaves off at a time. Okay, so that's all tidied and tucked back in. I've changed the net on this one from a fleece to like a black butterfly netting now. But don't you just hate it when this happens? You run out of net. So I've just used some grate just to stop the birds getting up underneath. It should be okay. There's no gaps or nothing, so hopefully that should keep it okay. Even if they peck at this little bit here, it doesn't really matter. And there's just a couple of bits there, so that's fine. That's so annoying. Right, I'm just going to have a little tidy up of this area now. Just take out some of these old plants. I'll just snip them off at the roots again. Leave the roots in. All the seeds have dropped off now, so hopefully we'll have some self-seeding. Don't step on the rhubarb. It's a random tuft of grass. It's good for the frogs though, so I'm going to leave this bit of grass for the frogs in case they want to hide underneath it. Speaking of seeds, I have some yellow poppy seeds saved from a garden, so I'm going to sprinkle a few of those down now as well and see if they take. If I do them all in one patch, then I know that that's pretty much what's going to come up there. These are yellow ones, these are. Right, that is pretty much everything done for the day here. I'll just pack up these last few bits and then I'll head back home, and if you want to join me, there's a couple of bits I want to show you, so I'll see you there in a minute. Here we are back at home. I just want to quickly show you a couple of bits outside and then I'll show you the last little bit that's growing inside. But look, the giant onion that I'm putting to seed has just started to sprout, which I'm really excited about. So it's definitely been putting roots down and now it's got a shoot. Let me turn you around. There we go. Look, yay! It's got a tiny little shoot coming out. It's like a green tongue poking out of there. So that's good. We've got lots of little flowers and stuff that's all looking really good. Some of them were damping off a little bit, so I've left the door open for a while just to let it a bit more breeze come through, but everything else is looking great. So they've survived the worst of the winter, I think, now, so that's good. We've got the strawberries as well. They're just starting to throw up some new shoots. They'll be going out soon as well. And then these little bits are growing as well. So I've got some sprouting cauliflower, some pixie cabbage, and then some all year round cauliflowers as well. So they're looking really good. And I've sown two different types of carrot. One's like a little round nubbin, like a little ball, which is Paris Market, I think it's called. And then we've got scarlet horn in this one, but there's no germination yet. So hopefully now it's getting a bit warmer, they'll start to germinate. Got my sweet peas growing really well. I've put them out here because they need a drink, so I'll give them a drink. And I think you're supposed to pinch them out as well. Can you tell me in the comments if I should pinch these out now? I've never pinched them out before. I normally just put them in as they are, but I've seen a lot of you take the top off. Must make them bushier, I guess. So are these ready to pinch out now, please? If you can tell me, that'd be lovely. And then I've got a little glass house which is just round the side here, so I'll have a quick look in there and I'll show you what's in there now. There we go, so there's the rest of the broad beans. there. So I've got 9, 10, oh 11 there, not 15. We've got the Joe Athertons in that section there. These are just random onions that I sowed last year. I've got some cabbages in there. That's the Caraflex F1. And at the back there's some cola plant that I took cuttings of, so it seems to have survived the winter, so that's good. And then this little section is all the poppies. We've got black swan poppy, got some red corn poppy, pom-pom poppy, and then some more of the Caraflex cabbage there, just the little seedlings there. And then this is some spring onion. Okay, so indoors I've got a few bits, nothing crazy this year because my giant onions take up all the space. So I'll just show you a little bit of what I've got going inside. There we go. So I've got some melons, some sweet peppers, aubergines, a couple of different varieties of aubergines there. As you can see, they're looking really good. They're quite close to the lights, and I've had to move the tomatoes because they were catching. But let me show you in the tent the difference between the tomatoes. So I had a few tomatoes in the section I've just shown you there, and then I had a few tomatoes, exactly the same variety, sown exactly the same in this big grow tent. But I want to show you the difference light makes. So here we have the ones that were sown, well, that were growing really close to the lights in the little tent over there. And then the ones that were growing in this tent, look at the size of those. So I think these ones have been reaching for the light. Let me show you in a comparison so it's easier to see. There, look at the difference. It's mental. So these ones were really close to the light, and these ones were in this big tent here. So these haven't had to stretch and reach up for the light, and they're a lot darker leaves as well. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera, but they're a lot darker. Mad, isn't it? See which one's fruit first. So just the last little bit in this one, I've got some aubergines, some cosmos, lemon. Those were lemon seeds. So it's just a little lemon tree thing. And then I've got some more cabbages and cauliflower. So that's purple cauliflower, greyhound cabbage, some sprouts, they're just germinated, some flowers, erythium or something like that. Erythium, I'm not very good at reading stuff. Erythium, whatever that is, some flower anyway. And then some coriander, which is just about germinating there. That's it. But I wanted to show you this. Look at this. This is aubergine, long purple, and I think it's going to be blind. So sometimes plants grow and well, cauliflowers mainly, and they grow and they're blind in the middle, which means they don't have a cauliflower. Can aubergines be blind? Because that is the same variety, sown exactly the same as that. See, it's got all its true leaves coming up on there. This one hasn't. So I'm interested to see what it does. I've got some peas ready to go as well. So these are early onward. So another couple of weeks or so and I'll be sowing some peas into these toilet rolls. So that's it from me this week. I'll hopefully get a video out for you every week going forward, just to keep you updated on what I'm doing. But yeah, that's about it. Enjoy this glorious sunny weather and roll on spring. That's what I say. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.